Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for you guys. Today guys, we're checking out the second episode of the Hawkeye show they dropped today. This is Hide and Seek. Now, I just finished a few minutes ago, Never Meet Your Heroes. Really good episode, really good introduction. More of a Kate Bishop episode, but now we have Hide and Seek, and they ended the first episode, I think pretty smartly, with Kate and Hawkeye, Clint, actually meeting face to face. And I think it was pretty smart in terms of how they actually got him to actually go out and find Ronin, because she had on the Ronin suit. It was captured on by footage, and they're saying, we haven't seen Ronin in years, and he's thinking, you haven't, because I haven't been Ronin in years. So it's like, he's like really confused, and I don't know who he thought was under the mask. He probably had no clue, but he's like, who stole my fucking suit? Well, there was this auction going on. She got in the middle of it. She had to be a hero in a sense in the Ronin suit. Yeah, she had to be Ronin. You know, it is what it is. But I'm curious where we go from here, because they set up the episode in a way to where he saved her life in the flashback 2012 during the New York attack, before the iconic moment in the film, at least in my opinion, in terms of his character, where he jumps off the building, turning around, firing up in slow motion. Right before that, he saves her life. And unfortunately, her dad passed away. She's half Batman now. Kidding. But you get my point. And now she's growing up with a mom who's now engaged to some guy named Jack, who has an obsession with swords. We have an Armand, this is his name, Armand, who was murdered. And she snuck into his house and found his body. And luckily, she wasn't seen by the woman that came in. But it's not looking good. There's two suspects, her mother or her potential new stepfather. And I think her mom is actually a villain in the comics or something. I'm not 100% sure. I think she is, but I'm not really sure. Like, I thought I heard that at one point about, you know, the casting or whatever. But regardless, I enjoyed the first episode, and I'm excited to get to the second episode. There's a reason why they dropped two at once, because they could have easily just started the show a week earlier, but they decided not to. They're dropping two at once, so I'm assuming that there's a reason why they're dropping the first two in terms of the tie-in of the stories of the first two episodes. But we'll see. So let's get into now, guys. Episode 2, Hide and Seek. Let's go.
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop. Nice to meet you. Well, yeah, it's okay.
How did you get this suit?
Secret auction. Don't worry about it. A short and sweet to the point Hawkeye.
Look, just so you know, I'm not some total dude, right?
Yeah. She did fight in the Ronin suit and got some... Yeah. His head on the window.
So what all did you do in this suit?
Fought some crime. Yeah. Yeah.
Shouldn't you be in school?
She was. Well, you don't want to know.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm fine. You should see the other guys.
You really should.
Tracksuit Mafia.
That's their name.
Yeah?
The person that wore this suit made a whole lot of enemies. Alright, the tracksuits are just one of them.
Uh-oh.
That doesn't sound...
And now that Ronin's back.
About this suit.
And my name's on the buzzer.
Wow. Yep. Oh, shit. And he catches and throws it back. Well, that didn't really work.
I need some supplies.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh. No, not that.
You want your safe house?
No, there's no safe house, I don't think.
Tommy sold that. Stay here, lock the store.
Stay here, lock the door. Is she going to stay, though? I'm guessing the suit's already been taken by somebody. That's my guess. LARPers, they took it.
I love you too.
Since when did everybody start saying I love you to everybody all the time?
That was my mom.
That was my mom, so...
So how's my place?
You're crispy.
See you tomorrow, I guess.
But will you, though? I mean, you will, but he's planning on just going at a certain point, maybe. He's got the Ronin suit. Oh, no. Aww. Oh, you will? Okay, that's good.
You're a good dog. Most important things, remember these 3 words. Don't lose Nate.
Don't lose Nate. Yeah, where is he? You lost him. You're supposed not to lose him. You lost him.
Should we be worried?
No, don't worry about it.
Daddy's got this.
Do you?
New York socialite Armand
Pizza.
if indeed the Ronin has returned to New York City, if he may be responsible for Armand Duquesne's death, and...
What happened?
Yeah, all that. Holy shit.
You are very contained. You keep your cards close to your vest.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
wear over a suit of armor and like
Yes, he
6
does.
other layers
Yes.
of protection. at the safe house after work?
Safe house.
Just letting it ring through 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just so you can call him.
She's only, or a block and leave you.
It's
Thank you, Kate. It's very sweet of you.
kind of awkward because he's a suspect, your mom's a suspect.
She likely feels displaced by me.
Displaced. Wow. I cannot believe he's gonna do this. Is he gonna join?
I know who you are, but most of those folks out
I know who you are, but doesn't care.
firefighters, cops.
He's gonna join in.
Name? Wait, your armaments.
Your armor. Don't forget, you gotta wear armor. I never would have suspected that he has to go through all this to get to the suit. See, they're all just play fighting. He can actually fight, so this is not really nothing for him.
You're a superhero in real life.
Yeah.
This is as close as I've ever needed to be.
Oh my god.
I fought Thanos.
I fought Thanos and I gotta do this now. It's really funny.
No, you gotta make it look real.
You gotta look at fight me, man.
Are you aware there was a fire in your apartment last night?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
This is so ridiculous, but... yeah. Oh no!
You did have fun, right?
I mean, it's a little silly, but yeah, sure, why not?
Promised Lila I'd be there for Christmas.
So you gotta be there. For your kids and for her.
So it seems you're quite the sword aficionado, Jack.
Yes. Let's get to the point.
We're pretty aware of when someone is trying to stab you in the back. Okay.
Stab you in the back.
Both proven that you...
Is this to prove that she's better than him, or to see how far he's willing to go?
Oh, caught me again. Wow, you are good.
Okay. What are you hiding, Jack?
My daughter?
Kate!
Wait a
What's wrong
minute.
with you? How many people get murdered by swordies here in New York? I'm gonna go ahead and guess 0.
Yeah.
That you're worried that you'll graduate and in the fall you'll start working at Bishop Security for real, right?
Yeah.
You've always been.
Oh, like you.
Butterscotch.
Oh my gosh. That's a dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
You know, sometimes back-to-back calls isn't the right move. In this case,
Who answered it?
I'm sorry. Barton can't take your call right now.
It's a nice place you got here.
Very nice.
So you are not Hawkeye.
No.
Oh,
But, yeah.
I guess I am who you think I am.
Kate Bishop is guy, bro.
Kate Bishop is not guy.
Not guy.
This guy. This now doesn't he stop?
He's not tied behind his back. Yeah, see? That's... Oh, look! The suit! Her suit! Echo, right? Yeah. It now makes more sense why they put out the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye back-to-back on the same day, because of the story points, the story progression. It just makes a lot of sense. Now, I really enjoyed this episode. Of course, they end the episode, of course, with the introduction of Echo, who, of course, who has a spin-off show in the works. They've officially confirmed that, but we have an Echo show coming, but they introduce Echo officially into Hawkeye at the end of this episode, of course, leading the Tracksuit Mafia, and Clint's whole point, he wanted to be captured, and I like how he has his hands tied behind his back, he's like, well, you know, I'm not who you think I am. Like, well, you're Hawkeye. He's like, well, yes, I am, but I'm not the guy. I'm not Ronan. He's like, Kate Bishop's the guy. No, not a guy, or not, not the guy or whatever. It's like, no, Kate Bishop is guy. And then he just takes his hands out, which I was waiting for that to happen because I knew he wasn't actually tied up. Like he's too good for that. But he's just like nonchalant. They're pointing guns. He's like, I'm just want to talk to the leader. Is that the leader over there? Or some guy? And of course it's not. It's Echo, and she's, in another room or whatever. But he's just nonchalant. And then it's like, well, I don't know where Kate Bishop is or whatever. And then she falls through in her suit. So she's made her own suit, which is kind of cool, right? Like, it's because I was thinking, like, where does she get the suit from? Because, like, we've seen the promo stuff and we've seen, of course, posters and stuff of her in her Kate Bishop suit. But where does she get it from? And it turns out she makes it. She made it herself. I mean, it makes sense because she was inspired by Hawkeye bow and arrow, all that kind of stuff, and doing all these different things with trophies and stuff and winning medals and doing all these different things to really push herself to become basically better and maybe a hero, essentially, because she put on the Ronin suit to fight those bad guys in episode 1. So it makes sense, but it was cool to see the suit at the end there. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, Clint's whole plan has now gone to shit. It's not looking good, especially for that. But okay, so we have a couple things to talk about in terms of this episode. So of course, we have Clint and Kate in terms of their relationship, kind of building it. Like, not really, because he really doesn't want too much to do with her, but he has to try to help her, because now the Tracksuit Mafia is tracking her down. Obviously, by the end of the episode, like, Kate Bishop is a guy. It's like, well, no, but yes, but no. But saying all that about Kate, and he's trying to, stop all this nonsense so he can go home for Christmas, because his family's back home now. They're having fun in the kitchen, making stuff, gingerbread house or something, and they're just having fun, and he's out doing this nonsense. He's like, well, I got another day. Like, it's not going to be another day. But he's just trying to sort this all stuff out so he can go back, because if there was no cell phone footage or anything of the sorts of the Ronin suit, none of this would be happening. Unfortunately, it is. So he has to figure it out. But I like how they really built, in a sense, kind of slowly building Kate and Clint's relationship, even though it's not really a relationship. It's not really like a thing to where they're really working together, because he's just trying to help her and get her, safely put somewhere, and so he can try to sort this all out and go home. But it's not really working out, because, like, she's just trying really hard to kind of, like, say, okay, so what's the next move? Like, what are you thinking? You got any suspects? What happened to the suit? Ugh. And then he's like, you're not going to listen to me, are you? Because he keeps telling her, like, you need to stay here. And she's like, I want to, but no. Like, she wants to respect him enough to stay and do what he says, but at the same time, she's too invested. She's too curious, and she just wants to help an Avenger, the one who saved her. Now, I don't think she said that you saved. Maybe she did say when they got first introduced in the alleyway that you saved my life. Maybe, I think she might have said it. But I think there's going to be a point to where she's going to explicitly, when they have maybe a crucial moment, where she's going to tell him the story of what he did. This one act of shooting a bow and knocking out the Chitauri shooting his bow and arrow. Sorry, it's early in the morning. And you saved my life, because those Chitauri were going to kill me. And I feel like that's probably going to be a turning point for him to realize how much of an influence he has made on her. I think he started to get a sense of that a little bit, but I feel like he doesn't understand the full grasp of it all, because he wasn't really connecting it, because we were kind of seeing throughout episode 1 that there was people that were, of course, in the LARPer in this episode, but there was people that recognize him and appreciate what he does, and he kind of pushes it away, because he just kind of wants to move on. Like, he's done being an Avenger, he's done being Hawkeye, in a sense, became a point, and that's kind of what he has to deal with now. People will recognize him all the time, because he was one of the few Avengers who didn't wear a mask at all, so he's always going to be constantly recognized. I was surprised he wasn't as recognized as he was at Rogers the Musical, but anyways. So, I think that's going to be a crucial point. What I liked about what Kate did is that she just runs into her mom's office or whatever, and there's that Jack guy. And they had made a point to show those, like, Armand, like a little, whatever, caramel thing or whatever, those little candies. They made a point for her to pick one up in episode 1 when she was in his apartment or loft or whatever, and then found him dead. And so, building up to that point, which I think this is why they had the first 2 episodes, really, because of that point, because when she's there talking to Jack, or she's like, I bought a book on how to be a stepfather. Oh my God. They have dinner later, because she's like, trying to ask questions about their relationship, trying to figure this stuff out, because she's suspecting it's him because of the sword angle. But ultimately, it still could be your mom. But anyways, we get to the point where there's dinner, and then they're just having a discussion. It's like, oh, so swords. Because she knows that he was stabbed in the back by clearly a sword or some sort of. So I'm assuming probably Ronin's sword probably had the handle and then extended it out, because they made a point to show it extends and retracts like a lightsaber, the sword. So it makes sense to stab and. But anyways, so they do some fencing. He's letting her win, and she's getting so mad because she knows there's something up, and so she just goes in for a hit when he has his sort of mask helmet thing or whatever for fencing. And he deflects it. Like, he's looking over here. Here comes the needle. Bam. Like, just knocks it. Like, it's like Seamless. Goes to show he's hiding something. And then it builds up to the point where she's telling her mom all this stuff. And she's like, you need to just calm down. You need to just graduate and start working at the security, as was planned. She's like, as you planned. Like, her mom's trying to push her in a certain direction in terms of what she wants her daughter to do. And then, of course, he goes in and tries to hand her an Armand little thing. And it was the exact same little candy that was in that bowl. I think it might be a red herring. Is that the right word or right phrase? It might be a trick, because it still might be somebody else. Because I wouldn't be surprised, because that house is full of swords. It doesn't necessarily mean it's Jack. It doesn't mean that he killed his uncle, right? It doesn't mean that he killed his own uncle or killed, It could easily be her, because what they did within episode 1 was showcase the relationship kind of between Armand and Jack, and then how her mom and Armand were arguing earlier in the episode 1 as well. So realistically, it's giving us two options. I feel like it's actually her mother who killed him. I could be wrong. Maybe they both did. Maybe they both were there. They're both guilty. I don't know. But, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what they do here, because now we have 4 episodes remaining, and it seems like we're building up to some sort of, thing to where Clint's going to have to just give in and start working with Kate, because it's just not going to work out with him just doing whatever he thinks is necessary, and she's just going to sit back and, just not do anything, because she's going to, look, she showed up in her suit. She fell down through the ceiling. The LARPer thing was funny as hell. I really thought he was just going to go in there and take it, but at the same time, it's more funny. I think in the trailers they had showed some LARPing stuff, but I don't remember. But as the scene was happening, maybe I saw this in the trailer, but it probably just didn't connect as I'm watching the trailer at the time. But maybe there was some LARPing footage in the trailer. But regardless, it was funny to see, because literally the woman who was stopping, oh, you can't go in here. She's like, I know who you are. Because I'm thinking, maybe she doesn't know. Maybe if he tells her who he is, she'll go, oh, you're Hawkeye? And then she lets him in, but that's not funny. It's supposed to be a funny moment, because this show is not supposed to be all dark and serious, all that kind of stuff. It's definitely not like that with Kate, for sure. But it's the fact that he has to sign up and he has a scroll and he's just walking through and he's just mowing down people, but he's just playing. He's not actually hurting anybody. And then, of course, there's a fight for the suit. Of course, he gets the suit back, but he has to lose the fight because he wanted to help. That guy asked, please just let me take you out. And they have that guy. It's so, I didn't realize it at first, but he's making the sword noise. Twing, twing. He's making the noise on the side. And I think Clint looked over and went, what the fuck? Realized, what is he doing? He's holding it out. It's silly, but it's funny at the same time. It was a funny moment. But he got the suit back. And he has some sort of locker somewhere. So apparently Clint has probably lockers everywhere and shit, because I think even Kate had asked about a secret bunker or something, and Tony had sold it years ago. So there is no secret bunker or something. So I don't know. But I like the build up in the first 2 episodes. I felt like this was a solid secondary episode compared to the first, and it makes sense why they put out, like I said, the first 2 back to back. It just makes more sense now, because if you put out the first episode as is, probably wouldn't have the same impact. And honestly, it actually feels a little better that we had 2 episodes, just so we got a better idea of what the show is, because they put out the first 2 episodes of WandaVision back to back. They didn't do that for Falcon Winter Soldier, but they did for the first 2 episodes of WandaVision. But it made more sense once you watch them why they did. But then you look at this, it makes more sense why they put out 1 and 2, because I'm betting when we watch episodes 3 through 6 once a week, it's going to make sense why they're standalone once per week. But it makes sense now for this, because realistically, some stuff, of course, happens, story progression, character introductions, all that kind of stuff, but realistically, 2 episodes is get a better understanding of the full story and where we may be heading with this show. So we'll see. But anyways, what'd you guys think of the episode? I'm curious to know your thoughts, guys. What'd you think overall about the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Whatever thoughts you have, guys, let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.